Jake Paul versus Logan Paul on HBO Max. Breaking down the March 27th mystery announcement when Jake Paul teased a massive announcement in the world of boxing over a month ago. Fans began speculating wildly. Would it finally be the long-rumored Tommy Fury rematch? Was KSI stepping back into the ring against him? Could we see Jake finally make a serious step toward boxing legitimacy? Theories filled YouTube thumbnails, Twitter threads, and fan forums. But when the teaser finally dropped an image of Jake Paul and Logan Paul face-to-face, with a date and platform March 27th on HBO Max, what was supposed to be a groundbreaking announcement quickly turned into a wave of confusion and disappointment. The announcement that wasn't, let's start with the basics. The only confirmed information is a flyer that shows Jake and Logan Paul standing off with the date, March 27th, and the platform HBO Max. That's it. No versus text. Number, mention of a venue, no classification of the event. Is it a fight? Is it a documentary? A reality show? A joint business venture like Prime 2.0? Fans simply don't know, and that's a big part of the problem. Marketing thrives on intrigue, but there's a fine line between building anticipation and alienating your audience. In this case, the teaser lacks clarity. While mystery can be a powerful promotional tool, it only works when there's a payoff. Right now, fans feel like they've been led on, not led to something. Why the confusion stings? So much part of the frustration here is due to the expectations set by Jake Paul himself. A month and a half ago, Jake publicly stated he had a major boxing-related announcement coming. Naturally, this built hype among fans of the influencer-turned-boxer after a long period of relative silence following the build-up to his fight with Mike Tyson, which has now been postponed. Supporters were itching for clarity on what's next. The problem is this: if you promise a major boxing announcement and then drop a cryptic flyer that doesn't clearly signal a fight, you break trust with your base. This isn't just poor communication, it's bad brand management. Theories and speculation. Let's break down the top theories floating around and assess how likely each one is. 1. Jake Paul versus Logan Paul. The fight? This is the most surface-level interpretation. A head-to-head promotional image naturally leads fans to assume it's a fight. But here's why that might not add up. No official boxing commission listing. As of now, this event isn't on BoxRec, a key registry for professional boxing matches. No location or undercard info. Legit fight announcements almost always include venue details, ticket links, and undercard fights to round out the promotion. Family dynamics. Would Jake and Logan really punch each other for 12 rounds? These brothers are business partners and close friends. While they're both showmen, there's no history of beef. No narrative arc that supports them squaring off. Jake's own words. In past interviews, Jake has repeatedly said he wants to be taken seriously in the sport. Logan, while athletic and charismatic, hasn't shown serious commitment to boxing beyond his exhibition against Floyd Mayweather. If this is a real fight, the question becomes, why? It doesn't build Jake's credibility in boxing, nor does it have a compelling story. In fact, it could damage Jake's momentum coming off the Tyson spectacle. For Logan, it's even more puzzling. He's currently thriving in the WWE and other ventures. What incentive would he have to risk injury or public embarrassment in a boxing ring against his own brother? TOA joint event. Dual headliners. Another plausible theory is that both Paul brothers are appearing on the same card but not fighting each other. Maybe Jake fights KSI or another opponent, and Logan is co-headlining against someone else. This theory fits better with past trends. Jake has done this kind of staggered reveal before. When he fought at Madison Square Garden, the initial announcement included no opponent. The details came later. If this is the same strategy, a vague first announcement to drum up intrigue might explain the minimal information on the flyer. This would also give HBO Max room to hype up the event in stages. First, get people talking with the face-off teaser. Then, reveal the fight card piece by piece, if that's the plan. It's clever if risky. 3. A documentary or reality series given the platform HBO Max and the release day Thursday, March 27th. Not a typical fight night. This may actually be the most likely scenario. HBO Max isn't known for broadcasting live sporting events. Netflix wasn't either until Jake and Tyson changed that. Still, streaming a fight live requires infrastructure, licensing, and promotion that we just haven't seen yet from HBO Max. The absence of these details suggests this isn't a traditional fight. A documentary or docuseries exploring the Paul brothers' boxing journeys, rivalry, and rise to fame could make sense. It would have built-in drama, behind-the-scenes footage, and wide appeal among both fans and skeptics. If that's the case, though, it begs the question, why tease it like a fight? Why not just say it's a film or series premiering March 27th? The public reaction to say the fanbase is divided would be an understatement. Across Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and YouTube comments, the prevailing sentiment is closely by frustration. Many fans were genuinely excited for a meaningful fight announcement, and what they got instead feels like a half reveal or, worse, a baton switch. Some even compare it to the infamous final chapter teaser from KSI and Logan that turned out to be the launch of the Prime drink brand. That was exciting in its own way, but not what fans thought they were being sold. This matters because marketing trust is fragile. Boxing, already plagued with delays, mismatches, and politics, doesn't need more smoke and mirrors. Jake Paul, whether you love him or hate him, has brought attention and new fans to the sport. But this kind of teasing, if not followed by a satisfying payoff, could reverse some of that goodwill. Strategic misstep. From a pure business standpoint, one could argue this rollout was still smart. It got people talking, it generated headlines. But from a fan loyalty perspective, it feels like a miscalculation. Here's why. Fans of boxing are already more skeptical than traditional fight fans. They know they're not always going to see elite-level talent, but they at least want transparency. If you say a big announcement is coming, and it's just a vague flyer with no details, people feel played. This is especially problematic because Jake has been trying to balance his reputation as both a content creator and a legitimate fighter. Moves like this undermine the latter. Could it still be salvaged? Absolutely. This might just be the first phase of a broader announcement. Maybe within days we'll get full fight details. Perhaps a press conference will clarify everything. If that happens, the initial backlash will fade, and fans will turn their attention back to the matchups. The best-case scenario now is that both brothers are on a card each with meaningful opponents, that HBO Max is simply staggering the rollout to build intrigue. But if it turns out to be a documentary, a scripted show, or a glorified branding stunt, fans will remember the letdown. The bigger picture of this situation also reflects a broader issue in influencer boxing: the constant tightrope walk between hype and substance. Fighters like Jake Paul have revolutionized the way boxing is marketed. They've opened doors, generated new fans, and brought real financial success to a sport that has often struggled to stay mainstream. But with that power comes responsibility. When you market yourself as the future of boxing, you can't keep moving the goalposts. Fans are patient up to a point. Eventually, they want clarity, structure, and actual competition. Final thoughts right now. All we know is that something is happening on March 27th involving Jake and Logan Paul, and it's on HBO Max. The rest is speculation. Is it a fight? A docuseries? A prank? We just don't know. And that's the core of the problem. When you promise something big and deliver mystery instead of substance, people start to tune out. Jake Paul has the opportunity to make a massive impact on boxing. He already has. But if he wants to keep fans engaged, he needs to be clear about his goals and his events. Hype is only effective when it leads to a payoff. Right now, fans are waiting for that payoff.